Our first pose is a traditional plank, hands beneath the shoulders with feet in the dorsiflex position. For beginners, this can be done with the knees down. If you experience wrist pain, make a fist to create your base. It is vital to keep your spine long regardless of knees down or legs flexed. Draw your belly button to the spine. Tuck your tailbone towards your belly button to keep the hips in line with the shoulders and heels in line with the hips. Simultaneously, reach your head forward and reach your heels or tailbone back. Press the floor away with your hands. Belly in. Head forward. Heels back. Breathe. And now onto our bridge pose. Lie flat on your back with your knees bent and feet flat. Press your hips up in line with your torso. To maintain the strength of the pose, simultaneously press your shoulders down, your hands down, press your heels into the floor. While we do not want to make this a butt squeezing contest, you can contract your glutei or hips muscles to maintain the hip and torso alignment. Press the front of your hips up to the ceiling to maintain strength. Press only when you feel your hips lower, as you do not want to press the hips higher than your torso and create an unwanted flexion of the spine. Stay with your breath. Press your heels down. Squeeze your cheeks. Lift your hips. On your next inhale, slowly lower down. How is our side plank? Please be gentle with your shoulders. Should you experience any unfamiliar or overly painful sensation in your shoulders, this may be the pose to skip for now. Start with your forearm down and your elbow directly beneath your shoulder. Stack your heels in line with your hips in line with your head. Press your top hip up towards the ceiling. Flex your feet. Simultaneously press your forearm flat to lift up out of your shoulder joint. If you find this position is too challenging, bend your top leg and plant the foot flat. As with the previous plank pose, draw your belly in. Press your top hip up. Reach through the top of your head. Reach through your heels, feet flexed. Belly in. Forearm strong. Breathe. And now our second side. Align the second side the same as you did the first. Heels in line with the hips. Hips in line with the shoulders. Belly in. Press your top hip up to the ceiling. Feet flexed. Breath fluid. You may notice my top arm hand pressed down into the bottom. Due to current instability in my shoulders, I find this added support allows me to complete the posture while I maintain its integrity. This would be similar to using the top leg foot flat for added support. Press your top hip up. Reach the top of your head forward. Reach your heels back. Feet flexed. Belly in. Forearm strong. Breathe. And on your next inhale, slowly lower down. Now is our plow pose. Okay, for those of you unfamiliar with this posture, you can start on your back with your arms around your knees, your chin tucked to your chest. Create as much of a squeeze as you can with your knees in and chin tucked. For those of you with a healthy neck, shoulders, and spine, gently lift your hips up and your feet over your head. Use your hands to support your hip strength. Otherwise, notice the bind of my hands. Fingers interlaced. Easy on the shoulders, please. For those of you in the full expression, be mindful not to compress the throat. Keep your chin away from the chest. Continuously reach out through your heels. press the shoulders into the mat. Belly in. Breath fluid. Use the strength of your hands. And on your next inhale breath, slowly, gently lower your hips down. Our final posture will be upright. This is a straddle pose. Stand with your feet as wide as your hips will allow. Tuck your tailbone towards your belly button. As you set up your stance, be mindful to keep your hips in line with your ankles. If you notice your hips sink back, shorten your stance. To create the opening, keep your hips in line with your heels. You should notice a great stretch through your inner thighs. If not, widen your stance. Press the outsides of your feet down. If you notice your feet slide apart, simultaneously press your heels towards each other as you press the pinky toe edge of your feet flat into your surface. Belly in. Chest up. Feet strong. Breathe. And as you're ready, slowly, gently exit the pose. Take around 30 seconds to rest and hop back up as you're ready.